What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000, and finally, the MMO Hopper has come to the Age of Conan. What the heck are you talking about, FG? Allow me to explain. I know I'm not the only person out there that gets really bored and installs a bunch of MMOs they used to play to kind of check them out, check out their old characters, see what they're up to, install new MMOs to see how they play, and pretty much uninstall them after that. Let's be honest. So I figured, why not go on a journey together? Let's MMO hop together. That's pretty hard to say. Let's MMO hop together. In today's first MMO hop, we are in the Age of Conan. Now, this is a game I actually have pretty fond memories of. This is my level 80 Dark Templar, Zayana. What up? She still looks pretty good. I gotta say that the graphics didn't really... I mean, they don't look really good, but they still held up pretty good, and the character models look fantastic. I'm looking good. Look at this cool ponytail. But this is a game I'm actually pretty fond of. Prior to release, I was on every message board. Oh, look at this guy. I was on every message board. I was checking out every video, every interview. I was so about this game. I was so ready to be... fatality. I was so ready to be done with the World of Warcraft. And I wanted to have blood. I wanted to have boobs. I wanted to have cuss words and violence. I just wanted a game that I felt that I was mature enough to handle. And that was Age of Conan. It came out at a really good time where... Hold on, I gotta get used to this combat here. It's been a long time since I played this game. But it came along at a time that a lot of people wanted to push their computers. You know, they just viewed WoW as a potato game. Let's be honest, that's the best way to say it, a potato game. They were like, anybody can run this game. I want a game that pushes my pushes my video card to the max. Age of Conan came out, and it does just that. To this day, my computer is an i7, 8GB with a GTX 680, and right now I'm hovering in between 43 to about 52 frames per second on this game. To this day. So can you imagine, well, you don't have to imagine, this game ran really bad when it first launched, and that is a lot of the reasons why I'm trying to look at these DDR things here. That's a lot of the reason why this game didn't do very well out of the gate. Nobody could really run it properly. I mean, most people could not run it on max settings at all. Oh my god. These combos, like, alright, this is E, this is 2, and this is 3. There we go. I like it. So you see these little buttons at the bottom of the screen. You have attack in the upper left, in the center, the right, the lower left, and then the bottom right. And then you have to kind of do little DDR button prompts to do your abilities. I thought it was amazing when I first saw it in videos, let me tell you. Right now, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad combat system, but a lot of the abilities are just really you just swinging in different directions, as you can kind of see here. But the combat's not bad. I remember it sounding a lot cooler, but I digress. So anyway, the game came out. Nobody could run it. There was memory leaks out of the wazoo. So if you... basically, if you stayed in one zone, you were pretty much fine. The memory leak didn't really hurt you too bad. But if you zoned a lot, you went to town, you know, you actually played the game like you were supposed to do, the memory leak would get so bad and your game would crash, and that would be the end of it. And then you try to log back on, but there'd be a queue. Even though the game didn't do very well out of the gate, there was tons of people playing. So it was just a freaking nightmare. I think that was part of the reason. So performance issues are one of the reasons why this game did not dethrone World of Warcraft. When I think about the games that were most touted to dethrone WoW, 2 games come to mind. And if you have a different opinion, please let me know in the comment section below. But I think I'm right. The 2 games that were most touted to dethrone World of Warcraft was Age of Conan and Star Wars: The Old Republic. Those are the 2 games that I felt like were the games that were like talked about as the WoW killers. Like, those were the games. Now, a lot of people throw around the term WoW killer pretty often, but I still think Age of Conan and Star Wars were the 2 games that were like really supposed to be the games to dethrone WoW. But as you can see, as we walk around and see no one, that's not the case. This game did not dethrone WoW. Even though WoW is down to like 5 million subscribers at this point, it's still the biggest game out there, period. There we go. So that happened. It was performance issues. There were a lot of unfinishedness in this game. So they had this amazing first area called Tortage, which was a very single player focused experience, which is hilarious. Let me sidestep for a second. And spoiler alert, this is what the MMO Hopper is going to be about. Me kind of walking around a game and kind of telling you my experiences with it, post-mortem, and yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be about. So what was I about to say? So this game had a very, very awesome single-player experience called Tortage. And it was this really, really cool single-player experience. Had never been done before. And you can kind of tell how MMO players are very fickle. So back then, everybody was like, oh my god, there is a single-player experience in an MMO. That is amazing. And then when Star Wars came out, they're like, oh my god, there's way too much single-player in my MMO. So we really didn't know what we wanted. But a lot of people were really upset because after they got done with Tortage, which was a level 1... Need some help here, buddy? Need some help? I got you. 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 So once people got done with Tortage, it was level 1 through 20. A lot of people were really upset because after that, you actually had to play a normal MMO. So people were like, wait. Who's putting MMO in my single player game? So a lot of people kind of really hit Funcom really hard on that, saying that it was kind of like a bait and switch. You played this really awesome single player experience and then all of a sudden you have to play an MMO, which is, like I said, it's really hilarious in hindsight that was probably the biggest complaint that they had. So that was one thing that really hurt them. So performance, the so-called bait and switch of the single player to the MMO player experience, and then the game just being so unfinished. So once you got out of Tortage, there were so many bugs, there were so many things that were missing from the game. Probably the biggest thing that was missing from the game was stats that did anything. There were like no stats that did anything. How do I look at that kind of stuff? Whatever. Stats, right? Stats. These are stats. So there was a guy that recorded a video back then, and I don't remember who he was. Obviously, it's been years and years and years. But he took off all of his armor and showed that doesn't matter if he was wearing armor or not, whether he was using a weapon or not, he was doing the same exact damage. So Funcom had to come out and say, oh, look at this. Funcom had to come out and say, oh yeah, there's something going wrong with our stat system, and yeah, none of the items really do anything. They do a little bit, but not enough. They're not... Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a little hot right now. I'm getting a little heated talking about Funcom. Oh, she got a smile on her face and everything. So the stats didn't even do anything, which was like, are you serious? How do you release an MMO with weapons and armor and your stats barely do anything? But that was one of the big issues, and unfortunately, it wasn't just like maybe like a database error or anything like that. It was a real issue that was in the game, like deep in the game. It took a few patches before that was even fixed. Like, you released a game where weapons and armor didn't do anything. It was crazy. Lots of dungeons didn't even have loot drops. So you'd be in this dungeon not getting any loot whatsoever. None. And if you did get loot, there was a really big chance that it looked exactly like the base armor that you walked in there with. Like, a lot of the gear didn't even have unique assets. So there were a lot of things that were kind of going wrong with this game, and due to that, when it comes to MMOs, you really only get a first chance to make a first impression. And even after it went free to play, it was just too late. A lot of people had the stigma about Age of Conan, and to be honest, the Rise of the Godslayer, I think that's the name of the expansion, wasn't really that good of an expansion either. That was kind of the expansion that they tried to bring the game back and be like, no, look at us, we're doing good. We got an expansion pack out, come back. It didn't do that well. I didn't really like it, and I'm a Funcom fanboy in a... Why am I doing that? I was freaking dodging instead of hitting people. I'm actually a Funcom fanboy, and as we go through the MMO Hopper series, when we touch on Anarchy Online and we go back to the Secret World, I'll kind of reveal a lot of that to you. Not in a way that I can't say a game is bad, not that kind of fanboy, but I really, really think Funcom is a great company. I'm really... Why do I keep trying to dodge? I'm really sad that they didn't do super well, because one thing that Funcom did that no one can ever knock them for is the fact that they were super innovative. They always tried to do something different. So while everyone else was trying to make the next WoW clone or the next EverQuest clone, Funcom was trying to make a game that was theirs, that was unique to them. And I can't knock them on that. No one looks at Age of... Oh my god, what? Ah! This combat system, man. There we go. Blah. No one can fault Funcom for trying to clone a game that was out. Secret World is not a clone of anything. Age of Conan is not a clone of anything. Neither is Anarchy Online. Those games are all super, super unique. And so I have to give them props for trying to be completely different than the norm. Everybody talks about innovation. I gotta say Funcom did an actual fantastic job on trying to innovate the genres that they played in. So kudos to Funcom on that. Unfortunately, this game did not work out for them. So that's that. Let's talk about some good... Oh, one more bad thing about this game. So, pet peeve. Pet peeve. I bought Age of Conan. I don't know why I'm clapping, because I'm getting hype. That's why. I bought Age of Conan full price. Full price. I also bought the expansion pack full price. I've also paid subscriptions for this game for several months. I wish there's a way... I don't know if there's a way to like tell how long I've been playing this game, but I've played this game for a long time. I thought there was a way to kind of see your veteran ranking, but I bought this game and I stayed subscribed for a long time. I was like really into this game. So I come back to play free to play, and the expansion that I paid money for is locked off to me because I'm not a premium member. Are you serious? What? That just infuriates me that I can't go to content that I actually paid for. Like that's like some Star Wars stuff right there. Like Star Wars does that. You know, a lot of people like myself bought Star Wars. We tried to come back to it when it went free to play, and we couldn't even take our helmets off. Well, we could, but we couldn't have the stats with it. You know what I'm talking about. Like that kind of stuff really annoys me, and I'm just mad that I can't go into the new area without actually paying money, so that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I'm gonna jump on a cool mount here. I have a mount that looks awesome. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we're gonna kind of touch on this video. Yeah, let's jump on this. That still looks cool. Look at him looking at me. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, you can do mounted combat, can't you? Oh yeah. See, this game was so... Let's go find some people to run over real quick. I think you can run over people too. This game did a lot of things right. It was really trying to be something special, and it's really unfortunate that it wasn't able to do that. I'm trying to get a good angle, but it's really kind of hard because it's so massive. That's what she said. Sorry, that was inappropriate. Pretty freaking cool. That's still pretty cool. But unfortunately, the population of the game is all but gone. I never really hear anything about them updating the game. You know, like most free-to-play games, when they're doing well or they're getting a bunch of accounts, they're quick to tell people, yo, we have a new expansion, we have new dungeons, we have a new class. I'm trying to get off my mount. I don't know how to get off of it. You never hear about that for Age of Conan. How do I get off of this thing? Hit that. Quick dismount. Quick dismount. Alright, well, forget it. I used to love the fact that there was animations to mount and dismount, and now I'm like, man, let me off this mount. Let me off this thing. But that's pretty much it. This is probably not another MMO. This is not an MMO that I'd ever come back to, I don't think. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of take a look at my character. She does look as good as I remember, obviously. But I'm not sure how much longer Age of Conan will be out in existence. Which is really sad. I think they could have did a lot with this IP. This graphic engine, I think, could have been improved on over time had they had the income to do so. But unfortunately, they didn't. This game has been pretty much on life support for as long as probably the expansion came out. A little bit after the expansion came out, this game has probably been on life support after that. So that is pretty much it on the Age of Conan. Once again, my name is FG3000, aka the MMO Hopper. You know this is what you guys do, right? You install a game, you walk around for a while, and you remember why you didn't want to play it in the first place, and then you uninstall it. This is what you guys do. I know. So we'll be jumping on to the next game. I don't know what the next MMO will touch on. I have characters around so many MMOs. You'll be shocked at what type of characters I have across some games. Some games that you wouldn't even expect that I've played and have characters just lingering. Just can't wait to come back and get their close-up on the channel here. So if you have any suggestions of MMOs that you want to touch on, hop on over to and kind of see what they're up to and kind of talk about what went wrong, what went right, and kind of see how the game has aged, I would love to check it out. Just leave it in the comment section below, and I will see you next video. Later.